Welcome to this episode of your Spiritual Business Coach podcast. And I'm your host, Ashu. I am the coach for light leaders ready to own their fear, self expression, and build audiences that will trust you with their eyes closed. We do this by integrating feline energy, which helps you birth match made in heaven offers and whisker licking good marketing. And this episode is going to be super juicy. I guess I say that word too much. But today I have a very lovely guest with me. Her name is Hirul. She has been one of my clients and I have absolutely loved working with her. She's bringing this beautiful sunshine like energy to every container that we work together in. So I would love to welcome you to the podcast, Hirul. I would love for you to share what you do with the person listening to this episode and what is the kind of work you do.
Thank you so much, Ashu. I'm super happy and grateful to be here. And I feel whenever we try and do something together, it always feels very easy and aligned, which is something I would like to, just mention on the outset. And thanks for that lovely intro. So what I do is, I think in a broad sense, I would be like an ascension guide, like a mentor for people who are looking to evolve themselves, in any area of their life. One of the core things I work on is to find out your root pattern. So all of us have these patterns which kind of keep us going in that same loop and don't allow us to go to our next levels, right? So one of the most important things I feel I bring is to help the people identify their core patterns and start to help them to release them. So, the tools keep ranging and shifting as I also upgrade myself. So from energy healing cards, crystals, to mentoring, mindset training, and now EFT, sound healing. There are many, depends completely on what that person needs. So I am more of an intuitive person where I just allow the intention to do the work, and whatever the person needs, then that's the kind of road we go on, whether it's a one-on-one, whether it's a coaching kind of a group training. But yeah, that's basically the kind of work that I love to do. And I feel, that I've met so many beautiful people on this journey that it's just, it's taking me on a path itself. So
I love that. And I love that you mentioned group because I remember that was one of the things you had mentioned in
yeah.
how do I go about launching group programs. So let's talk about it. Could you share what brought you to me? How did we meet? What was on your end? Like, give me the
Yeah.
tea.
Yeah, so absolutely. So basically I had done this, ancestral activation in December 2023. And in that I had received these words that my ancestors, while we were connecting, they'd given me this gift called feline activation. And I was like, okay, I accept it, but I had no clue what it means, what I'm supposed to be doing. But in that moment, it was like, okay, I'm sure, the answers will come. And soon after that, I think couple of months or 1 month or so later, I found your page very randomly. It came on my Insta feed and you were speaking about feline activation and you had done some workshops. So I started following you. I said, okay, that's really funny, like something that they said I need, and there I find it like that. And of course, I started following you a little bit and I started resonating with everything you've been saying. And I feel like now looking back at it, I can say that you were already embodying a lot more of the feline activation. And that was something I needed, right? But obviously, at that point for me, it was just a complete intuitive thing that I need to work with this person. And so I had approached you and you were doing your group program was just starting. And that was something I really needed at that point. The other thing I was being guided at that time was to kind of just completely open up to being my truest expression, especially on Instagram, socially, all of that. Because I was in that phase where I was doing all the work in with my clients, but I was still shying from speaking it out publicly, because there are a lot of things which feel very out there. And you feel like, should I really put it out there and, open myself up to people's opinions and judgments? But I was being asked to do that. And yeah, so I just intuitively felt that you're someone I need to work with. And that's how it started. And, I feel, I don't know if I should get into it right now, but it's really
I think you've already answered a section of something that I was thinking I'd ask you. So please do get into it right now.
Okay, perfect. So basically, the journey just unfolded very naturally with you, Ashu. So I joined it for the Cosmic Exilia program, which was to help create these programs and help to put your content online. But what I feel, okay, like whenever we work, especially when you are awakening, when you are in this stage of ascension, things always happen on many levels. So on the very basic level, of course, I learned a lot from the kind of strategies that you shared, your own examples. You had many modules which were very different because you are actually able to bridge that gap. What you say, you actually do, which is even for me, the problem was at that time that spirituality was one side and business was one side. And there was not that complete connect within the two. So I was not able to completely bring myself there. So I feel like you definitely helped me do all of that. But I would say for me, it was not just on the information level, it was a lot more on the energetic level because I tune into those subtle energies. And I believe that whatever you have shifted in yourself, you kind of hold those codes, those frequencies, and the other people who need them, they find their way to you. That's how this journey works for all of us. So I truly feel that you did help me kind of release, that little bit of witch wound that I had. Because I've been creative and it's not like I was not coming up with content on my own, but I was not feeling safe to do it. I was not feeling very good about doing it. That was the problem I was having. And I feel like after doing the coaching container with you, I feel like it has gotten way more easier for me because I feel that you are able to embody it and you kind of, we kind of start mirroring each other in that sense. So that kind of shifted for me automatically by working with you.
I love you've mentioned so many beautiful points here that people could literally take notes of. That first, you said that there are energetic codes of the things that you embody, and the people who need those codes will automatically come to you. And how I say it is that you have like those karmic connections, that there will be people who will find you, even if your business is having a slow month, a slow year. Even if you keep going 2 years later, there's going to be someone who's going to come to you because they're supposed to come in that timeline. I also want to ask you, what was your favorite part about Cosmic Sales Elixir? What was the favorite thing of the entire modules? Or
I think it was definitely the live calls, because it is really lovely to see, we see a part of you in the modules and we all see a part of each other when we submit, those answers and all of that. But to understand the back end, like I really loved the way, Ashu, you would mention, oh, today before the call, I had to cry. I was in that space. And yet you are there coaching. And that is something people who are spiritual entrepreneurs need to know that, it embodying the feline, being confidently and fiercely, that doesn't mean you will not face vulnerable emotions, doesn't mean you will not get overwhelmed. So I really enjoyed the parts where it kind of normalized what everybody else was also going through. And also there's this sharing that happens, that there are so many other souls who are listening to this call that is coming from within. Because sometimes, when you're in those phases, when you look at everybody else around, you're like, okay, am I the crazy one? Why is everybody else not feeling this need to move on, evolve, and hear this call, which is so strongly there? But then you see these group of women, these group of people who are equally passionate and doing what is coming to them so strongly and just following things, I feel like that really motivates and inspires you in your own journey to move forward.
This was such a good question to ask because I remembered what I wanted to say, and it's very in relation to what you just said about nerve. I wanted to talk about nervous system attunement. That when you are seeing those people you're getting on calls, you're getting to attune to the nervous system of the person or the coach in whatever container you are who's holding that level. So when you plug into that coach again and again for, let's say, 8 weeks, your body shifts, your whole nervous system shifts. Like, I am used to this frequency now. I feel safe in creating very spicy content pieces that will trigger people, but I don't fucking care about it anymore because I have worked on myself for these past 8 weeks in doing this. And when you're getting on those calls, you're tuning into everyone else's nervous system as well. So you are also giving that safety to someone and they are also giving safety to you. And the beautiful point you mentioned about crying. So I had to take my cat, foster cat, today for a vet visit. I think this is our first vet visit ever. I've never been to a vet before. And this is 3 weeks of her being in. She's very scared. She's always scared of everything and she barely came out. So I think it's a very good example that I can take because she was all happy, bubbly, proud before I packed her into her carrier. And then she became all like defying everything and trying to hit and scratch and everything. So we do get thrown into situations where we might acting like a cat just not does not always mean you're confident all the time. It does mean that you embrace that scared feeling. You are a scaredy cat at times. And when she went to the vet, again, she was scared, but she's been such a beautiful, good girl, I would say. And when she came back, she saw her house, she saw the familiar territory, and she was back in less than 5 minutes. She was like, yes, I'm meowing. I want food. I am back home. I know I'm safe. So that safety, I love that bouncing from I'm scared to I am safe is a process and it has to go on.
Yeah, I just love that. I think that is something which has really been sinking in as well. So I love that, what you said about the nervous system and I said about the codes is the same thing. The codes works on an energetic level and how it shows up in your body is through your nervous system. That's how it regulates within the body and how you embody that energy in you. So yeah, I absolutely love that. And also the point that came, while you were talking is that is the point, right? I don't know why sometimes we kind of fear that, okay, now I've crossed, I've healed so much, I've kind of grounded all these things in my life. Now let this be normal. But that's not the journey. The journey is to continually we will keep getting things which put us in an uncomfortable position because that's how growth is going to happen. But depending on how regulated your nervous system is, how easily can you normalize that in your system? Because all these things are happening because we put out a strong intention to get that level of maybe, success, that level of abundance, that level of whatever it is that your intention is, and obviously that level is different from where you are now. So something big needs to change. So the change is going to come. But when the change is here, we kind of get lost in, oh my God, I asked for growth and success. Why am I being in challenging situations? But the idea is the challenge is the way you will reach that growth.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think the way we are talking already shows how I'm able to translate it into physical terms because I've seen a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs struggle with it in terms you are super good at it because you know all of these concepts. But I see people saying to me things like, Ashu, I saw this in my meditation. I don't know what the fuck it means. I saw a golden light. I saw a pink orb and I don't know what it means. And I'm like, that's supposed to be your branding. Oh, that's supposed to be a font. Oh, that's supposed to be the vibe of it. And the way you said that the energetic codes is on the spiritual level, the nervous system is on the physical level. So this like a 3D to 5D translator that I like to call myself as like a bridge. I love how beautifully that came.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
Yes. Now I want to dig into your business a little. I want to ask, where were you in your business or your life when you decided to work with me, like before? What are some things that might be working well for you versus what weren't? Maybe some programming stories or something of that.
Yeah. So when we started working, I think I was in a place where I was very confident with the kind of results that were coming to my clients. I was getting people mainly through referrals, but I was not getting people through maybe like strangers, like Instagram or stuff like that. So of course, people were resonating with what I'm saying, but to actually get people to come to experience your energy or to sign up for things, that was not happening so much. And I feel the pattern in me, like I mentioned a little bit of earlier, that I was releasing at that point was that witch wound pattern where I didn't feel completely comfortable opening up on Instagram, right? And showing my entire range. So now in hindsight, I know it was obvious why people were also not coming in of that level, whereas in person, when I'm in face to face, I'm actually a lot more comfortable to kind of, because it's a one-on-one space. So I feel that limiting pattern was definitely one of the big ones I was facing. And I feel like in going through the program, in kind of implementing the things, I would still say I am not yet implementing everything that you've taught. Like I feel like I can still go back to it and still kind of add a layer. But I know that in my body, the biggest shift that has happened is this, that I've been able to be very comfortable to being seen as who I am. Like this is who I am and I am unique and I've understood that I am meant to be unique. It's not like, for me, of course, and for everybody else listening, it's not like when you want to work with Ashu, you're coming to become a mini Ashu or a version of Ashu. But when you work with Ashu, you're coming to become the version of you which needs to come out. And because you are having done that for yourself, you are able to guide that person. Because I love that you also include intuitive tools, which, spiritual people themselves use. So I feel that you speak the same language, you understand them on the same language. And for me, that was really helpful. So I feel like for me, it was a lot more easier to just release that kind of a limiting belief that I was holding, that that feeling that I was holding, that every time I would share something, I would start to feel like, oh my God, why did I do that? Why did I know? What are people thinking of me? Are they judging me? Or, am I actually there yet to say all these things? But I feel like that energy of self doubt really went down for me through working through the program. And of course, I feel like the creative, the kind of ideas that would come is like, you don't need to wait. I think that was the other thing which kind of came in stronger for me. I always had this tendency that whenever I came up with good, inspiring ideas, I'd be like, okay, not now. When I'm launching something, maybe I should share it. When I'm doing that, maybe I would save it for what I don't know. Right. So I think through the process, I also stopped doing that. And I started kind of understanding that if I want to share something, just share it now. Like now is the time. Just go for it. There's no need to over analyze and think things before sharing. So I think that that really, really has helped me in my, that was something which I was feeling like a block for me, which opened up. So yeah, for that, I'm really grateful.
I am really grateful that you said all of these wonderful points, because I love that you mentioned the mini you part, because there's so many coaches out there who teach the same business model, the same marketing strategy. Like, you do this and it will work. You use this tool and it will work. But what about the buffet that I would love to choose from? And also the language understanding. I've had that come up so many times with my clients, because they go to work with someone who's traditionally focused business coaching, which they are great at what they do. But when a spiritual entrepreneur hears stuff like business model revamp and all of that, it's like, I don't know what you mean. And I feel like I don't belong here. And the same thing goes like vice versa, because the spiritual entrepreneur is scared to say, oh, I channeled this. They will start molding their words in front of the other coaches and say, yeah, I thought of this idea. I don't know if it's good enough. Oh, I cannot launch it on 4th because I don't know. In their head, they're like, no, it's supposed to be launched on this day. Because yesterday I did my another event on Feline, and my guides told me to do it on 2nd Feb. And I followed like blindly. I was like, okay, cool, yeah, cool, put it in the calendar. And when I saw yesterday it was a festival, I
Yeah.
was like, why would you ask me to do it on a festival when people would be busy with their rituals and everything? But I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust you with it. And I had the best event. I had Discovery Calls booked. There is conversion that I want. It was good. So if I would have just picked it from the aspect of it's a festival, maybe I should not schedule it, even though it says 2 2, maybe I
Yeah.
should not do it. So I love that you've mentioned that.
I love that too. I love that you get that and you follow it yourself. And that really helps the other person as well, especially when you open up and share about these things. Because I feel like with spiritual entrepreneurs, a lot of the thing is still that we don't see ourselves as business people yet. But when you say it like that and when you kind of normalize that, it kind of becomes okay. Because, of course, like you mentioned, business is a term which feels a little bit material sometimes because of the connotations we hold, the prejudices we hold for it. And so I feel like it's a process which kind of helps a spiritual entrepreneur also normalize these things and, kind of say that, okay, it's okay that business is also intuitive, business is also spiritual, So I think that those shifts definitely start coming.
I would say business is only intuitive, that I would do it no other way, because I have done it the other way. And the amount of times I've cried, I've had my best friend say to me, I feel like this is toxic for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? This is how I make money, how I live, and I pay my rent. If this is toxic, how do I cut it off? The thing is, you're not supposed to cut it off. You're supposed to change the way you do it. And
Yeah.
you definitely have been shining your light so brightly. I have seen you like speak up more lives, more content pieces. I think you've been also collaborating with
Yeah.
people,
Yes.
right? I
Yes.
want to know, what have you created now? Because I think we are catching up after some time, I think around
Yes.
yourish. And
Yes.
I want to know, are we signing up strangers from Instagram now? Are
Yes.
we having all of that?
Actually are. I think I'm the happiest about not just signing up strangers, but I'm the happiest that I see, like, it was my intention for the longest time to, it kept coming to me that I'm here to hold space for people who are light workers. I'm here to hold space for those who are holding space for others as well, you know. And I would always keep saying that, how do I find these people? I don't know any of these people, you know. But I think by, you know, simply like you said, the guidance sometimes is not direct. The guidance I would keep getting is, you know, just forget about selling anything on Insta. You just talk about your experiences. You just talk about what you're doing. You just talk with absolute integrity and absolute no hiding things. Like, you know, no like playing small, like whatever is going on, just put it out there. And I feel like the more I started doing that, I felt a liberation and I felt myself healing through that process, you know. And that has helped me, I feel, attract the exact kind of people who I feel these services are for, you know. So my latest thing, I did like a crystal workshop, and I was amazed because I barely did any. I did not have time to promote or anything. I just put two, three things out there. And the people came. I cannot tell you, Ashu, I was like, the whole time they were introducing themselves, I didn't know most of them. They were coming to me for the first time. And the whole time I was like, wow, this is just magical. Because the way I had done that workshop was not a normal crystal workshop where you share information and just how you cleanse and hold. And it was mainly about connecting with crystal consciousness, understanding the technology. It was a lot about remembrance from Atlantis, Lemuria, and those timelines, you know. So it had a very, very strong activation. And I was told to do it in a specific way. And I was like, I hope people understand that it's not about buying crystals right now, you know. And that was the way it happened. Ashu, was so magical, I can't explain. So I feel like, you know, just listening to the guidance, even when you feel like you should, because when you see 10 people promoting and you're like, okay, I also need to promote, why am I not doing it? But then if your guidance is truly telling you, of course, there is this thing where, are you hiding behind it or not is different. But when you know that it's not hiding behind, it's truly what right now needs to open up in you, then when you put the message out there that, okay, I'm holding this workshop, it just automatically happened, you know. So I just felt like that result has really started showing. I'm really happy about that.
I'm really happy for you. I really love the point that you mentioned about listening to the intuitive guidance, because I had this moment where I was downloading stories to promote something, and my guides told me, day one, do this, do this, do this. But then there was a big gap in between. It's like, I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to talk about here? And they're like, nothing. Don't do anything. What do you mean? Oh, taking a break during a launch? How
Yeah.
can I do that? And that is what people teach in the mainstream coaching business industry, that you cannot take a break. You have to post every single day. And now the more I'm leaning into the flow of things, the more I know, okay, I will have a 2 fucking month launch and I do not have to worry about showing up every day. The lesser toxic business has gotten for me.
Yeah, I think we are learning to embody the cycles a lot more easily, you know.
Mm.
Like, I feel like when I am also being asked to not do, like, the end of this month, I was asked to not do too much, you know, just whatever one-on-one readings. But other than that, don't take up anything. And I am so glad because I had a lot going on, which was upgrading my skills. I had a lot going on, which was to also do with living my life with my family, my, you know, close ones. And you do all this because you want that balanced life. You want to enjoy your life as well. It's not always just about growing in career, right? I equally want to grow in my relationships, in my family. I love receiving, like, people are very important to me. So I feel like I don't need to choose and wait, you know. So I love that the balance is happening the more we tune into the guidance. Yeah, appreciating the pause and the slowness is actually making things go completely aligned when they are meant to. Like, the action feels more effortless now.
Percent. I love that. I would ask you just a couple more questions on what is something you would say to someone who's on the edge of working or jumping into any container. I wouldn't even say one specific container, in any container, any capacity with me.
I think what I would like to say is, if you are being called to work with Ashu, there is a reason. And like I said, we usually understand the reason on hindsight, right? But if you are having this thing where you are really resonating with what she's saying, or you are liking the kind of results, you want the kind of results that she's been giving her clients, then, and what I love about Ashu is that she doesn't tell you to just go directly deep with the private coaching. She has so many levels where you can experience her energy. So if you are someone who's very cautious, then go for some of the other, you know, she does these readings, she does these smaller coaching containers, a one time. just have to experience her energy, because there is a reason you are being called to work with her. You kind of, it's not like you're doing it for Ashu, you're doing it for yourself. You owe it to yourself to truly explore why you are being called to work with a certain person. And investing in yourself is always going to bring the biggest payback. I feel like that is the biggest thing we can on this journey keep doing, is to keep investing more and more and upgrading ourselves.
Thank you so much, Hirul. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I resonate with Hirul, I feel called out to work with her, then how can someone work with you and find you?
You can work and find me through my Instagram page. It's called The Divine Light Rising. I think that would be the best place to reach.
Great. I will have it linked in the show notes for people to find you, light workers to find you and start working with you. I loved the way you promoted the crystal workshop. I actually gave you an audit on that, and I saw it and I was like, there's such less promotion about it. But now that you tell me that you've gotten such great results for it, I was like, doesn't matter. It's all good. The point is not the engagement, but the impact. So I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashu. It was great coming here and having this conversation with you.
Thank you for coming on the podcast, Hirul. And thank you for tuning into your Spiritual Business Coach podcast and for listening to this episode. Now you listen to this episode, which means you know what it is like to work with me. And if you felt a strong nudge that, yes, I want to work with a coach who holds this level of space for me, then drop me a message. If you're feeling a little too generous, I would love for you to drop me a review or rating on whatever platform you're listening this on. And also drop me a message on Instagram at Listening Stories Untold. And I will see you in the next episode.